Hello and welcome to the Comedy Store Live, where you will experience the most sought-after and hilarious comedians straight from the greatest comedy club in the world, the Comedy Store London. Once again, we've hand-picked three wonderful comedians for you. Coming up, we have Ignacio Lopez and Lindsay Santoro. But up first, the incredible Joe Wells!
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Joe. I am an autistic man. Any other autistics in? What? Oh, phew, good. Those vaccines are finally kicking in. That's good. A couple more years, we'll all be autistic, won't we? It'll be a lot better. The trains will run on time. It'll be good. So are there non-autistics in? Yeah. Okay, there's more of you, but you sound ashamed of yourselves. That's fine, don't worry. I say autistic, by the way. Sometimes I get told off. Someone will have been on a course. They come up to me after the gig and they go, "You're not meant to say autistic, you're meant to say person with autism." That's what they used to teach on the course. Better to say person with autism, not autistic. But I don't like it. I like autistic. It's direct all in one. It's good. Person with autism, the idea is that you're separating the person from the autism. I don't think you could do that. I think it's all one thing. That's why I like autistic. You know? If someone works in a coffee shop, I'd call them a barista. I wouldn't call them a person with a theatre degree. I'd call them... It's been a weird few years for me as an autistic. I had a video do well on the internet, right? I did some stand-up about being autistic, put it on the internet, 2.5 million views, right? Which, sounds impressive, doesn't it? But before you cheer, what you need to remember is a lot of the people who follow me on social media are other autistic people. Got 2.5 million views. That means that it was viewed 2.5 million times, but not necessarily by 2.5 million people. Could have just been 4 of my lot who really likes it, but it all counts, you know? It's been good, you know? I've been invited to lots of stuff in April. April is Autism Awareness Month, so that's what was booked up for me, which is nice. I do all the Autism Awareness Month gigs for the money, because I don't like Autism Awareness Month. I don't think we should have it. This is my issue, right, with Autism Awareness Month. Why did we get awareness? Because all of the other months are good things. What are the other months? Black History Month. Study history, study inspiring people from history. That's a good thing to do. LGBT Pride Month. Be proud of who you are. Don't let anyone tell you that you should be ashamed of who you are or who you love. That is a good thing. Autism Awareness Month. Watch out! There could be autism anywhere. Remember to check your bonfires for autism. It's good, you know, I've got a good life. I do this in the evening. My thing in the day, I like to go to museums, right? London's fucking great for museums. Anyone been to a museum today? No. Yeah, no one uneducated man about, no! I will not learn anything! I fucking love natural history, right? Natural history, best museum in London. Yeah, I fucking love natural history. My favourite bit, there's an exhibition about dangerous animals, which is, it's not just interesting, it's like thought-provoking, right? So it talks all about sharks, crocodiles, mosquitoes. They're one of the most dangerous animals in the world, mosquitoes. Then the bottom of the dangerous animals display, it says this. It says, to see the most dangerous animal in the world, press the button on your right. And you press the button on the right, and the screen turns into a mirror to show that it is humanity who is the most dangerous animal in the world. Yes, I love that. It's like thought-provoking, isn't it? You're in a museum, but it's making you think about mankind's place in the natural world. I was there once. There were 2 teenagers, obviously bunking off school. By the way, bunking off school to go to a museum. Yeah. Good work, lads. Fully approve of that truancy. We're going to learn, but on our own terms, thank you very much. I watch these teenagers watching the Dangerous Animals exhibition. They read about sharks, read about crocodiles, read about mosquitoes. To see the most dangerous animal in the world, press the button on the right. They press the button on the right, screen turns into a mirror, and one of them goes, "Fuck off, I ain't done nothing!" It was amazing. Best thing I've ever seen in my life. By the way, I know that I bang on about autism a lot, right? But what you need to understand is that we don't get to speak for ourselves so much. I mean, you see autistic stuff on TV. It's not us, is it? It's 2 groups. There's scientists, they go on the news to talk about autism scientists. I think they get things wrong more than they get things right. There's a stereotype that autistic people don't understand humour and jokes. And we know where that comes from. It comes from a scientist. It comes from a scientist called Hans Asperger. He was an Austrian scientist who worked for the German government in the 1930s and 40s in Germany. He worked for the government sort of late 1930s, early 1940s. He worked for the German government of the time in their pioneering work with disabled people. And I don't know if any of you have ever been told that you've got no sense of humour by a real-life Nazi. I'm not listening to you, Hans Asperger. What an arrogant thing for a scientist to say. How have they tested that? That's what I want to know. If you're a scientist, you've got to do experiments. What's the experiment that's led you to that conclusion? They've presumably got some autistic people in the lab. They've told them all a joke. The autistic people haven't laughed at their joke, so they've added that to the diagnostic criteria. I don't get to do that. If I tell you all the jokes today and none of you laugh, I've got to go away and think about that. Think about my wording, think about the delivery, I think about how I present myself on stage. What I'm not allowed to do is come up here, do 20 minutes of comedy to complete silence, walk backstage, say to the show manager, they didn't laugh at any of those jokes. I guess the only explanation is that they all had some sort of mental disability. Prevented them from understanding my brilliant comedy. The other group you get parents of autistic children. They go on TV and talk about it. Paddy McGuinness, he had a whole documentary where he talked all about his autistic children. And in that documentary, he said that he wasn't sure whether his children would ever be able to feel love. And it wasn't made clear whether that's because they are autistic or because they are the children of Paddy McGuinness. More environmental than anything else. Here's the thing with the parent thing. I think it's cool when parents speak up for their kids, that's great. But there's a difference between speaking up for and speaking for. Those are two different things. And if I'm honest with you, some of the most upsetting things people have said to me after gigs have come from what I know is a tiny minority of parents of autistic children who believe some weird things about autism in their children, right? So at barbecue last year, good time it's barbecue, it's getting later in the day, one family's time to leave, little boy in the family says goodbye. And this is how he says goodbye to everyone at the barbecue. He goes, "Goodbye, kids and grown-ups." Lovely, lovely way to say goodbye. Well done, little boy. Then his mum goes, "I'm sorry about him. He has autism, but it's not severe autism." Right? Let's unpack what's being said there. She's apologising for him saying goodbye in a way that's not bad. It's unusual, but it's not bad. Then she's saying he has autism, but it's not severe. I hate the word severe. Not because I think all autistic people are the same, but because I don't think any of us are inherently bad. The word severe means worse. It really upset me. Didn't say anything. Didn't want to have an argument in this barbecue, but it upset me that someone would apologise for someone being different. And maybe I should have said something, but you never know how it's going to go. And also, I was worried if I'd said something. She spoke fluent English, but English wasn't her first language, so I was worried that if I'd said, you shouldn't use that word, people would think I was being sort of xenophobic, sort of like correcting what she was saying when it wasn't her first language. She spoke fluent English, married to an English guy, lived in England, but she was French. But not severely French. She had quite a mild form of the condition. I mean, between us, right, I know you're not meant to say this, but she said that she was French. Couldn't see anything wrong with her. She just looked normal to me, but she said she was French and you just got to go along with it, haven't you? You can't, these days, you can't go, "You're not French." Just saying. There's a lot of it around these days, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? When I was growing up in the 90s, we didn't really have all that French stuff. It wasn't really a thing. We just got on with it. No, I'm not saying no one was French, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Right, in the 90s, we didn't have, like if someone was French in the 90s, you knew they were French, or they were severely... Do you remember the really French ones? The ones that had to be kept in patisseries? And then, sort of late 90s, early noughties, they were let out of the patisseries and into the community, rightly or wrongly. Everyone says they're French. Everyone's got to have a fucking identity these days, haven't they? Okay. I don't think they are French. I don't. Anyway. They self-identify as French, but they haven't been properly diagnosed by an Englishman, and that's all that'll count. Real thing, but anyway, what a wonderful gig. You've been lovely. I've been Joe Wells. Goodbye, kids and grown-ups.
Joe Wells. Up next, it's Ignacio Lopez.
Buenas tardes, hello. All right. Welcome to the party. Yes, my name is Ignacio Lopez. Look, if you haven't seen me do stand-up comedy before, you might recognize me as the barman you slept with in Magaluf 2 years ago. A few familiar faces. Owen, it's great to see you again, man. How are you doing? My pleasure. Rock and roll. We're back in the house, man. It's good for you. I'm messing with you, man. It's all good. You've had it all tonight, man. You're a good sport, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, guys, I grew up in Mallorca. We all familiar with Mallorca? Mallorca, beautiful beaches, beautiful sunshine. Mallorca is a shithole, all right? Mallorca is a shithole because it is completely filled with British people, all right? I'm just going to put it out there. It's true. You fucked it. You know you did, all right? Don't give me that shit. You ruined it. We had such a good thing going on, all right, in Mallorca for a brief period of time between fascism and all-inclusive holidays, all right? It was fucking great for a little bit of time. And you came in and fucked it all, right? Totally. So I've been back and forth my whole life, all right? I grew up in Mallorca. Because I got, like, Welsh family, we'd always come over to the UK on summer holidays. Give me a cheer if you've been on holiday to Spain. Yes. Can you imagine that shit in reverse? Yeah. It's pretty fucking depressing, to be honest with you. Every summer we'd go to the UK, all right? It's so grey in this country. The weather's so shit. It's so grey. When I used to go back to Spain and show them my holiday photographs, people thought I'd been on holiday to the 1930s. What Instagram filter is that, Ignacio? That's the goddamn country. It looks like this all of the time, all right? The most popular guy's name in Wales is an abbreviation of David or David. They get called Dai, all right? D-A-I, Dai. Yeah, so it's the most popular guy's name in Wales, right? Dai. I didn't know this was a name when I got to Wales. I just thought they were really fucking aggressive. I was like, hey, man, how you doing? Ignacio. Dai. All right, okay. Think I know which way you vote in the referendum, motherfucker. I'm gonna stand over here now. Dai. Just met. Son of a bitch. Different animals in the UK. Welsh kids would laugh at me because you got different animals. In the UK, you got an animal called a badger. You familiar with this, the badger? I'm not making this up, badger, right? It's an animal. Welsh kids would laugh at me because I was just calling them zebra dogs, all right? Just call it what it is. What are you making up animals for now, right? It's bad enough in Wales, you got a fictional animal on the flag, right? The dragon on the flag, the Welsh flag was amazing. Now you got this wind in the willows bullshit running around your countryside. Pepe Le Pew looking motherfucker. I don't know what's going on. I've been trying, my whole life I've been trying to fit in the UK, right? Every time I come out, this was the cool place to be. All my cousins like, oh my God, you're going to London. I was like, kind of, Swansea, all right? It's not quite London, all right? All right, I was going there. I was really wanted to fit in, wanted to make the most of it. In order to fit in the UK, I've had to become an alcoholic. You people fucking love a drink, right? Yeah. You drink so much, it's your fault the Spanish economy is shit. It is. This dude's got a fucking picture right there, okay? He's not indenting an economy somewhere in Europe for sure, man. No, in Spain, we came up with this great idea for a thing called an all-inclusive holiday. We thought to ourselves, there is no way. No way. They can drink more than they've paid for this holiday. We were fucking wrong, right? Drunk us dry, you crazy bastards. I'll tell you what, guys, the most British thing in the world, right? It isn't drinking, you do drinking drugs. The most British thing in the world is dogging. You familiar with this, dogging, the term? We don't do dogging in Mallorca. I had no idea. Dogging, right? Only the British could take a look at an orgy and go, how can we make this more like a car boot sale? Get a bunch of strangers together, right? Let's have sex in a fucking Vauxhall Astra, right? It's gotta be a piece of shit British car. It's not proper dogging, right? You gotta make it happen. Guys, you drink so much, everything revolves around booze. Everything in the UK. You do a thing in this country called pre-drinks. Have you heard of what is prinks, some people call it? Because they don't even have time to pronounce the whole pre-drinks before they have to fucking get on it, right? And get some shots in them. Pre-drinks. I had no idea what this was. I had to ask my mate. I said, Dai, what are pre-drinks? He said, Ignacio, it's great. We drink at home before we go out to go drinking. I said, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. He said, what do you mean, Ignacio? It's great. We drink at home before we go out. I said, why? He said, just to warm up, to get ready to go out drinking. I said, you don't do it for anything else, do you? We're going to go to cinema. Pop a fucking DVD in before we go to cinema. Fire up the old Netflix and stuff our face with popcorn, is it? You crazy bastard. I got a... did anyone get a pet during lockdown? Anyone get like a dog or anything? Lots of people. You did you? Have you still got it? You got two, because some people were like, lockdown's over. Fuck off, Fido, we're done with you now. We can go out whenever we want, we get as much entertainment. I got a rescue dog during lockdown, because I'm a fucking legend, all right? Yeah, for sure, right? Got a rescue dog. I got a retired police dog, all right? Yeah, this dog, his name's Buddy. He's worked his entire life, Buddy. He's the best, all right? I love him. On his life, we get to look after him. I recommend it to anyone. Get a retired police dog. This dog has discovered drugs in my house I don't even remember buying. He's fucking top-notch, man. Get yourself a police dog. I'm renting him out after the show, all right? We'll make it happen. Gonna make a lot of money. Guys, you've been super welcoming. I really appreciate this, because I gig places sometimes and they're not welcoming, all right? I'm not going to name any names, but Essex, okay? I'm just going to put it out there. Where's the Essex? How are you doing, guys? No, guys, I was in Essex last night, right? I had a really good gig, but one guy fucking hated me, all right? Honestly, one guy stood up in the middle of my show and he went, yeah, if you hate the UK so much. I said, I don't hate the UK, all right? I'm taking the piss. It's my job. It's part of my visa application, all right? I was like, come on, man. I'm doing my best up here. He didn't like it. He was like, no, if you hate the UK so much, he said, why don't you piss off back to Spain? In the middle of my show, shout this out. Why don't you piss off back to Spain? Go do comedy over there. I said, look, man, I don't do comedy in Spain because they don't need cheering up. But these miserable bastards, I told him, right? Need a good thing. Besides, there's stuff I love about the UK. For instance, the UK has beautiful women, all right? Beautiful women in the UK. Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah. Unfortunately, because of Brexit, they have to fuck off home. Tell me I'm wrong. It's good. I love when people are like, he's paying us a compliment. No, he's taking a piss again. God damn it, all right? What's going on here? Folks, I've got my guitar with me tonight. I'm not usually a musical comedian, but I'm excellent at everything, all right? With anyone, you want to hear a song tonight? It's fucking Saturday. Let's do it. Okay. This is a song about what it's like to be the outsider, okay? Because it doesn't matter if you're from Essex, it doesn't matter if you're from London, it doesn't matter if you're from somewhere nice, okay? Basically, at some point in your life, somebody made you feel like you didn't belong, all right? I hope you enjoy it. Do you know how hard it is being this good looking? Do you know how hard it is being this good looking? Went out for a walk on a rainy day, caught my reflection in a puddle and I nearly turned gay. Do you know how hard it is being this good looking? That's the whole song, ladies and gentlemen. That's the entire thing. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night, man. Take care.
Ignacio Lopez, everybody. We'll be back with your final act straight after this.
This show is brought to you in partnership with Ticketmaster, the home of UK comedy. From your favourite stand-up comedians to rising TikTok talent and local comedy clubs, you can find it all at ticketmaster.co.uk/comedy.
Welcome back, and now for this week's final act. Give it up for the brilliant Lindsay Santoro.
Hello! So polite. Hello, Lindsay. Listen, sometimes you lot seem really nice, but I just want to clarify, because sometimes I'll come on this stage and some people, as soon as I walk on, they go, oh, fucking hell. Oh, another one. Oh, God. I bet she goes on about it. Oh, they can have kids now and get married. It makes me feel sick. I don't want people feeling awkward and horrible, so I'll just say it and we'll carry on. Yes, you're right. I am from Birmingham, yes. Thank Thank you for clapping me, Popperton. I apologise as well, because like, when I get introduced on the stage and people say Lindsay Santoro, you hear the name Santoro and you go, oh, she sounds exotic, doesn't she? She sounds like she's from somewhere far away and beautiful. And then I come on like a fucking orca and a swan going, that's some comedy. It's my husband's name. My husband. Oh no, I'm married, not lesbian. It's mad, isn't it? No, because listen, I tell you, like, because you seem all right. I thought there's going to be a moment when I was younger when I just go, I fancy women, and it never come. And I was talking to my friend Gay Julie. I says, Gay Julie, I says, I think I might be a lesbian, but I need to cop off with a woman and just see what happens. And she said to me, because I'm lazy fundamentally, she says, you can't do it, Lindsay. She said, you're not up to it. I said, what do you mean? Gay Julie, she says, when I make love to a woman, she says, when I make love to a woman, I make love for at least an hour and a half. I said, that's a Disney film. Could you knock someone off the old of the Little Mermaid? I fucking fuck that fuck. This is why I think I'm straight and not, because I don't know, maybe I am, but luckily I've met my husband and he's beautiful, and fundamentally, like I said, I'm lazy. I'll do anything not to fucking get hear it. I can't be. No, honestly, because you tell them stuff, these blokes, they don't have a fucking clue, do they? You're like, no, they don't. He's like, what do you want to do tonight? What'll turn you on? I says, oh, do you know what really turns me on? I love it when you whack it off me head when I'm having a nap. Oh. Oh, do you mind moving it up and just exfoliate my forehead with the sack? Oh, that's lovely, that is. I've come 7 times. No, No, Santoro's my husband. I used to be, well, I think I am. I think of myself as a feminist. So when I was younger and I was like, if I get married and I meet a bloke, I wouldn't change my name. I'm not his property. I'm my own person. And then I met David and his surname was Santoro and I thought, oh, that's good for comedy. And then I just thought, fuck it, feminism's about choice, isn't it, girl power? Fuck it, who gives a shit? Listen, I don't want you to... I'm a bit scatty, I've got to apologise, I don't sleep anymore. No, because, do you know what happened? I had to have a break from comedy and I'm back now, and I had to have a break because I had a little baby. It's not for me. Look, I can't do it. It's too fucking... They don't shut the fuck up. They don't even fucking do anything. They just lie there like a bag of meat. What are you supposed to do with that? It doesn't do anything. It just shouts and shits. And I was like, it's me. What happened was me and my husband had a baby to see if we were ready for a dog. I love it. I had to go. I tell you what I enjoyed, which really surprised me, is I really liked giving birth. No, drugs. Oh, drugs. Gas and air. Listen, gas and air is the greatest drug I have ever taken in my entire life. And I've done ket. Fucking gas. Ooh, if you get that right, fuck me. My friend Jenny, she gave birth, right, about 3 months ago. About 2 days after she'd had the baby, I went round to see her. I walked in the door. She tried to pass me the fucking baby. I said, do not pass. I said, that has just been up your fanny. I said, put that down. I said, Jenny, did you ever go on the gas and air? I says, it's brilliant, ain't it, gas and air? I said, it's brilliant. She went, oh, I couldn't do it, Lindsay. It made me feel sick. I said, you stupid bitch. I said, you've got to push past the sickness so you think you're a dolphin sucking its own arsehole. You don't give a fuck what's happening to your fanny then, do you? Ladies, you're... I was so far off my head, there could have been a magician pulling hankies straight out of here then. point, right, I saw Tina Turner and she weren't even dead then. It was bad. I don't want you to think I'm a bad mum because listen, I breastfed. Because I'm better than everybody. I said, I wasn't going to bother. I wasn't. And then I had to go when I was pregnant. You know them courses they send thick people on when they're pregnant? Do you know the one I'm on about? The one where they're like, don't leave the baby on a radiator, it'll melt. So that one. I had to go on one of them. And when I was on the course, the woman running it, she just says casually, she's talking about breastfeeding, and she just goes, don't forget, ladies, if you do breastfeed, you have to consume an extra 500 to 800 calories a day. I said, come fucking back here and say that again. What was that? You have to consume an extra 500 to... I'll do everybody's. I'll feed everybody's kids. I tell you what they don't tell you as well about breastfeeding. I thought when you breastfed, it come out of one hole in the middle of your tit in a straight line like a... There's like 20 holes on here, do you know? It comes out like the Trevi Fountain. It's fucking... I think one of... I don't know what the medical term for it is. I think one of my nip holes was broken. Do you know what I mean? The only way I could describe it is, you know when you look up at the shower head and you have... I keep thinking I'm winking at you here, it's stressing me out. Do you know what I mean? You have that one hole that always just goes off. Did anyone else have that? Have I got rancid tits? What's going on? And also, if you stop breastfeeding, your boobs you fill up with milk, or even if you just get, they're so uncomfortable, they really fucking hurt. I thought, I'm not wasting this. I went out into the garden, I pressure washed the patio, it was beautiful. Anyway, I'm going now. Thanks for having me. Take care, bye!
And that's all from the Comedy Store this week. Thank you to all the acts in this week's episode. We'll be back next week with 3 more brilliant comedians for you. In the meantime, go and follow all the acts you enjoyed from today's episode. As always, if you'd like to join us at the iconic Comedy Store in London's West End or at one of our on-the-road shows throughout the UK and Europe, head to ticketmaster.co.uk and search Comedy Store. Thanks for joining us, and remember to subscribe, comment, tell your friends, and we'll see you next Monday.